Today's stories include PlayStation gets more rigorous with testing its games, Skate's early access release date has been confirmed, and Nintendo is telling some developers to release on Switch 1 instead. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. I am Andy Cortez, and I'm joined by Snow Bike Mike. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, my best friend. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
My coworker.
Good first week back after your vacation. You've settled in. Now we're on week 2. I'm not jealous at all that you're going to PAX West without me. You and I could tear up Seattle for a weekend, but it's all right. It's okay.
Well, it's just a last-second trip, you know.
You know what I mean? Didn't get the text message, I guess.
Well, I mean, I just...
Hey, Mike, pack your bags. Let's go to Seattle. Would have been on that.
Get in the car. Get in the car. I'm taking you to the airport. You can't take this decision back. How you doing, Mike?
Andy, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Doing great. I feel like last night I dealt with some, paralysis by analysis.
Okay.
Of just sitting there going, I'm kind of drowning in games right now.
Too many games, Andy.
It's review season.
Yeah, you're killing it. You and the team
The flowers
are
are in the bloom.
I'm not killing it.
Why?
Because I'm just playing Pokemon.
I have noticed that.
There's a couple meetings where it's like, hey, let's do this for deck. Let's do this. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like,
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I won't play it. Like, really? Okay. Don't think I haven't noticed that. don't think I haven't noticed that. But yeah, just, was kind of just overwhelmed last night with, different games installing here and there. And then I just sort of sat down. I was like, what if I just play The King is Watching all night?
I saw the Instagram story, and I want you to know, because of you talking about it so much, you and Roger have put me on. And so I have now given a nice little hour of my time, and I'm looking forward to playing more. But you put up the story. You inspired some best friends out there to play it. Then you shared your story. 55 hours already played on that.
Yeah, probably about 60 with last night, with yesterday. Just kept on going.
Just
it's
you so on the Steam Deck or you on your PC?
Last night was a PC night, but usually it's Steam Deck.
Does it work? Because it's not fully certified on this, so I was a little intimidated at first.
It does. It does.
Okay.
But you do got to do some little finagling with the hotkeys.
Yeah.
With the keybinds or whatever.
To delete probably and move, right?
Yeah. So to rotate the little watch zone. Okay. It's called the King's Gaze, but it just sounds like I'm talking about the King's homosexuals.
Oh,
the King's Gaze, Gaze.
Yeah.
You got to rotate. So I do left trigger.
Okay.
And then I do either left bumper or L back paddle or whatever for I'm going to grab and move this sucker. And then I just use my right index finger to just move everything.
Now this is you going into the settings.
On the Steam Deck.
And doing that.
Yeah.
To set that all up. It's not instant, hey, this is what's going on. Let's reset
do you
really
need me to help you though?
Yes, I will bring it over.
Okay.
Let's rewind for a second. If people haven't been keeping up with your latest addiction in the gaming world, which is The King is Watching, what is it?
It's an auto battler like tower defense.
Yeah.
But it's got that sort of just you set shit up and then things rock. Similar to Loop Hero, similar to what I enjoyed about even though Vampire Survivors is you moving the dude around, it's like, your character just kind of auto doing stuff or whatever. So, it's just, I don't know. It's so deep and it's so satisfying.
Yeah, it's got the resource management that I like, right? Of building out your small little town on these little square plot here and trying to figure out what resources I need. When do I need them? When do I move that gaze to be like, hey, let's start working on this? The auto battler / tower defense of, hey, I just sent out 7 skeleton warriors along with just the regular civilians. Let's see what happens as they fight off little goblins. And
I'm really excited to do a peasant run. Peasants are the weakest dudes.
Yeah, that's what I've been talking.
They're super low health, right, or whatever. But if you level them up a whole lot, because throughout the run you will find troop upgrading, so you can make them hella strong. But then when you get, you can essentially get guts from goddamn Berserk on your squad. It's called the Black Swordsman.
Okay.
So you can make one of those dudes, and then whenever he's on the field fighting, all of the peasants get like double health and shit. Like, yeah. So it's like there's a lot of cool little passive things like that.
And you're seeing
this has been
new
your sponsor
things,
segment for King of Watch.
Yeah, 55 hours in, you're still seeing new things?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's so good. I can't stop playing
Well,
this freaking
I
video
noticed
game.
you're not spending a lot of time with these, so like I'm glad that you're putting it towards something good.
You're on your 17th Pokemon run.
I'm deep in it, Andy, and I fell again.
I'm just so
I stumbled again.
Wait, yesterday?
Yeah, I lost somebody really important.
I'm so confused by, all right, I'm going by real Nuzlocke rules now.
Real Nuzlocke rules.
Because, like, as if you weren't struggling already.
Well, yeah, it was like, here's the deal, Andy. I've
died 6 times. How do I make this harder?
And people said that. But it was like, I had to prove the doubters wrong. I had to make sure that my haters couldn't step up and say, well, he didn't do a true Nuzlocke. So I had to push it all to the side and say, I'm doing the true rules. Because when I beat it this time, this is it. I'm going to be able to say I've been to the top.
It's just confounding to me the amount of time, like, what you decide to listen to people's feedback on and what you don't.
No one's ever said that either. I'm just making
no one's
up.
ever said that.
But like, that's what
You're
MJ
Michael
did.
Jordan creating your own narrative.
That's what MJ did. He was the greatest. Okay?
he really was.
So I have to do
that's
it.
A great
Andy.
point. That's
so
a great
here
point.
I am on, attempt number 7, but really attempt number 1, my true first Nuzlocke, and I've lost some people along the way. I stumbled. I had to grind in a 7x8 patch of grass to really get my Pokemon up before the next battle. That was a really boring 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then there I was feeling myself. I was putting it all on Purple Skitty. I don't know if you know, they have gambling in these Pokemon games, and that really gets me going.
Oh, no.
They got a roulette wheel in this game, and I am smashing Purple Skitty for 3, and it pays out 36, and I go crazy when that happens, right? Like, I love that.
That's the last thing you need.
There I am feeling myself, right? And I get out of it, and now I'm preparing for gym number 4. It's a fire battle. I got 1 water Pokemon, the Tentacool, okay? I got to protect this thing, but I got to love this thing. I got to level up. What happens, Andy? I get in the cycle. Okay, I get in the cycle. I'm fighting this one. I'm fighting the Weezing. And what does the Weezing do?
Self-destruct.
He self-destructed on me, Andy. He self-destructed on me.
Oh, world ender. That's a world ender right there.
I lost the most important Pokemon in my group. Had to restart. That's another 2.5 hours of grinding the same bush. It's been a long journey.
That's tough.
How about Dark Souls 2 before we go? I've been waiting for you to hit the frigid outskirts.
Before we end the show.
I've been waiting for you to hit the frigid outskirts. Did you hit it or not?
I don't know what that is. I'm in a snow zone.
You know what it is. It's a giant 1.5 mile long death run. You're going to stand at a window. You're going to jump out the window. Actually, I think you're in a coffin, and he slides down there. And then you will arrive at this insane death run that's full of snow, mist, and fog. You won't be able to see 10 feet in front of you. And you'll start running, and then out of the background, you'll hear, it's a gallop.
Oh.
And then
that was a good horse.
Thank you.
Holy shit, I didn't know Mike did a good horse.
The lightning horse will try to gore you.
Oh, wow.
Has that happened yet?
No.
Oh. Okay,
but you just spoiled everything for me.
I'll be watching. I'll be watching.
You just spoiled everything for me right there. That was a good ass horse.
Thank you.
I'm really, really impressed by that. Everybody, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. We do this each and every weekday on podcast services around the globe. And if you love what we do, support us with a Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and now Spotify and Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad free. Watch us record them live and get a daily exclusive show for a chance to be part of the show. Submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube super chats. We'll be getting to those all throughout the show. So make sure you let us know how you're feeling, how you're doing. Housekeeping today after Kind of Funny Games Daily. You'll get the GAMESCAST, which is Sonic Racing Crossworlds preview. I don't know who's on that. I think Roger played it.
What's your hype level for that?
-12.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, when was the last time I picked up Mario Kart World?
What a great week that was.
Week? Shit.
Great week that was.
The stream afterwards is Greg hanging out with Erika Ishii, which is awesome. We're going to be talking to Ghost of Yote.
Yeah, really cool.
If you're a Kind of Funny member, Greg is going to do a Greg way. We don't know what it is or what it's about. Maybe he already did it. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, Delaney, the Psalm Twining. We appreciate you all very, very much. Today we're brought to you by X-Reel, but we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 6 stories today.
Oh, Baker's Dozen!
Story number 1. PlayStation boss says company now does, quote, much more rigorous and more frequent testing after Concord's failure. This comes from Rebekah Valentine at IGN. After a high-profile failure in Concord. It's been a year, by the way, Mike. It's been like 367 days or something.
Wow.
Crazy. Bring it back. After a high-profile failure in Concord and a high-profile success in Astrobot last year, PlayStation is looking to adjust its strategy to incorporate fewer live service games, more big franchises, and stricter oversight of its owned studios. In an interview with Financial Times, PlayStation CEO Herman Hulst says the company is hoping to mitigate future big, expensive risks with future games. Quote, I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us, when we fail, to fail early and cheaply. End quote. Concord was not a cheap failure. Analysts estimate Sony spent around $250 million on the game, only for it to sell so poorly that Sony shut it down 2 weeks after launch and shuttered its developer, Firewalk Studios, not long after. By contrast, Astrobot also launched last year to universal acclaim, winning multiple awards and selling 2.3 million copies as of March 2025, one of the best-selling games on PlayStation 5. The differences between the two games are myriad, certainly, and their development stories are quite different as well. But what Hulst has taken away from this is that there needs to be more supervision of Sony's own studios to ensure the games veering in the direction of Concord are spotted before they become expensive failures, so they can be canceled or corrected in time. Quote, we have since put in place much more rigorous and more frequent testing in very many different ways, Hulst said. The advantage of every failure is that people now understand how necessary that oversight is. Financial Times. You highlighting something, Mike, on this one?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. Is
A
it
little circle back.
Is it the word?
No. Oh, shit, I forgot. And you already read it.
I already read it? Chad, if you don't know, before the story started, before we got on the show, I said I wanted to set up a little hidden camera and record Mike's reaction to me walking up on the set and being like, all right, Mike, sit in the host seat. You're going to read today, just to see what his reaction would be. And then he said, oh, I would have gotten so angry about it. I would have been so uptight. But also, there's a word in there that I've never seen in my life. And I don't know what the word is, but apparently I already read it. Let's continue on with the article. Financial Times spoke to multiple Sony studio heads who said that this oversight means more focus on group testing, more communication between internal Sony studios, and closer relationships between the studio's top executives. But another strategy Hulst also wants to pursue, he wants more massive Sony IP. Astrobot's success has come about over the course of multiple games, with the little robot icon growing in popularity each time. According to Financial Times, Hulst wants studios to be thinking about how their IP can be turned into bigger and bigger franchises over time, following in the footsteps of The Last of Us and Uncharted. Quote, we take a very intentional approach to IP creation, understanding how a new concept can turn into an iconic franchise for PlayStation that can then again become a franchise for people beyond gaming. End quote. Mike, what's the word?
Yeah, a lot there to break down, you and I, Andy. Of course, oversight is a big one here, kind of playing into the known IPs or creating a franchise that could be a larger entity than just a one-off, right? And so there's a lot to break down on the Sony side of things. I guess let's start with oversight, right? The big one taking away is, what do you mean no one was overseeing this? Nobody had hands-on with this. Nobody saw Concord and said, hey, maybe there's a good game here, but I don't see a marketplace for this. I don't see a spot where this slides in and is actually going to make it here. Did nobody have that conversation? And of course, we learned a lot in this kind of conversation with Phil Spencer when me and the XCast crew sat down after Redfall's disastrous launch, right? And that moment of, hey, we got to find a better way to make sure that we're here before this happens so we can catch these kind of things. And you kind of question, like, well, the business and the video game industry has been around for so long. How are you not already on top of this? But as you know, a lot of these larger, high CEOs have a lot more going on than just being day-to-day employees within the studio to see the ever-evolving, changing game that they're kind of putting out there. But yeah, you'd like to make sure everyone probably has a say on this before it begins.
What do you think the tone was in these studios every time one of these live services was shut down? it could not have been a very positive place to see another big live service game come out. Maybe there's a lot of hype around it, and then 6 months later, 12 months later, hey, we're ramping down servers, we're ramping down service on it.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like such an obvious thing for us to see, but maybe there was just a lot of confidence in Sony going, hey, we always put out bangers. Why wouldn't this be a banger?
I think there's two sides to that, right? There's one where you are so entrenched in the day-to-day that you probably believe in what you're doing. I'm sure of course you believe in what you're doing.
All these studios
but
do,
it's probably
yeah.
hard to have the bigger picture from the outside of like, is this the right thing? Is this going to land with people? Because you believe in it, right? You love what you're doing. You believe in the characters, the world that you create. You probably have a really good time playing the game inside the studio, right? I got to go hands-on early with Concord, and I came back with the preview. And the first thing I said to Greg was, hey, this was fun to play, but I don't see this making it, right? And like, I'm sure everyone in the office was like, hey, this is fun to play. We're happy to see people smiling. And they thought this was going to hit, right? And on the outside, us gamers, the people who are playing all this, were kind of like, I don't think this is the way, right? And for Sony, on the bigger picture side, if you're working in these studios and you see Herman Holston, the team, laying off a number of staff members at different, development teams around your organization, you're probably, like you've said before, Andy, like really disheartened and going, we could be next. This isn't going to be good unless our project is going to hit. And there's a lot of projects that aren't hitting. Marathon right now with Bungie, of course. We've seen Fair Games. We've seen a number of games where it's like, ooh, this is probably next on the chopping block.
Yeah. And when it comes to larger IP, obviously, you hear Hulse talk about, we would love to kind of develop these IPs into becoming things that become mainstays for us, right? With, obviously, we'd seen Astrobot a couple times, and then it becomes its own video game after time. I think a lot of that is wishful thinking. I think the Astrobot playbook is really hard to replicate unless you try to do another. That's such a specific scenario where we are giving you a demo for this video game for the console to kind of test things out, and you kind of get a test of and a feel of what this character is and how the vibe and tone of all of it is. You can't really replicate that. You can't just say on the next console we'll have a new IP, because that's just like, those things don't happen all of the time. But no duh that they would want, to replicate The Last of Us and to have another Uncharted.
Yeah, of course. He's going to look at you every time. Whatever game you pitch, he's going to be looking at you like, want a sequel, want that trilogy,
Yeah.
Let's make sure we nail it. And of course, Astrobot is a different beast, right? It's hitting a marketplace that Sony didn't really have in the portfolio at the time. And it was the perfect storm of a 1-2 moving into the best Astrobot game last year of like how much fun that console 3D platforming mascot game can be, right? And hitting all of the Sony notes and just a perfect mix to really land. But I mean, looking at other teams and their games and going, well, you better make this a big franchise, right? A number of our audience doesn't like when I come on here and go, well, if I could wave a magic wand, we'd be on Destiny 3 right now, and Bungie would just keep turning that, right? They want to see new and fun, inventive ideas, but it's tough when Sony's boss is going, well, we should probably stick to the good stuff, right? And like this project, if you're not going to make this a mega franchise within 3, then like we're going to cut this. That's really hard to hear.
I was really, it made me happy to see that Astrobot is considered a really nice success for them. Because for a while there was a bit of worry, I would say, as we're kind of getting close to either whether we were getting close to Game Awards or, whether we had heard that it sold like 1 million units and we were like, oh man, you want a game like that with such, high regard and a game that everybody looks at and goes, what an incredible critical success. What a great video game this is to play. And then you hear that it was only at the 1 million mark that, I don't know exactly how long that was after it released, but I didn't feel super encouraged by that. And seeing 2.3 million now, it's like, oh, great. Awesome. Yeah. This thing is it actually did start to sell a lot more numbers, and people are a lot more happy. The larger gaming audience did end up picking up Astrobot, which makes me pretty happy, Mike.
Yeah, Astrobot was a big win, and that will go in the portfolio of already great franchises that they have, right? When you think of Sony and PlayStation, you already have The Last of Us, you have Horizon, you have your Uncharted, you're now getting Ghosts, which is getting a nice sequel here coming up. I guess the conversation now switched to when you look at Astrobot and the big win that they just had. Does Herman Hulst look at them and go, that's the playbook, repeat? Or does he give them the freedom to be like, take Astrobot and do something wacky with them, right? That's what we want to see. We want that team to be able to come to you and be like, hey, we got this new idea for Astrobot. We want to kind of deviate here to the right and see if this will land. Or does the team look at him and go, you've already found success. You stay with that.
That's a good question because I am of the opinion that there are so many game studios and game directors and game executives out there that are in no place to want to experiment with anything. If you have something that is successful, then you double and triple down on it, right? Because the numbers go up and we like that. And when numbers don't go up, we don't like that. And any chance to experiment could lead to massive failure. You're not experimenting on a game during a game jam that took 6 people to make over a 48-hour period. You are experimenting on something that could possibly take 3 years of development with dozens and dozens or possibly upwards of hundreds of employees, and that's a lot of money to sink into it. Where I'm at with this is, you know, we hear these stories every day about live service games, you know, maybe not doing as well as they would hope. And of course, the big juggernauts are always succeeding up there. I keep thinking about Project Frog or whatever the frog game, the frog type game that Bungie was working on that then became like, you know, they sectioned off that Bungie team to then work on the frog type game. That's a multiplayer type video game. And everybody in the studio has nothing but incredible things to say about it. That's one where I'm like, where is that shit? Where's that game at? Because that sounds like an experiment that may be the last of its kind, that we'll never see an experiment like that again. Where's the frog type game, chat?
Yeah, it just feels like with Astrobot, right? Me as a gamer, I want Astrobot 2. Replicate the playbook, continue that. I think everyone really wants that out of Astrobot at this time. It was so good, right? But when we get to Astrobot 3 or 4, right, does the change start to happen? Do we start to see the numbers lower and lower where they do need to make a change, or it just isn't the franchise it was? But for right now, Astrobot's a mega hit. It is now the new franchise
I love it.
On the Sony block. You're going to see that continue on, right? That's a win.
I had mentioned this to, I think maybe Blessing at the time. I'd always meant to tell Tim about it, but when I went to Osaka last year and I went to their version of Best Buy, I forget what it's called. It's like a dude's name.
Okay.
Like
Dave's.
Wait, maybe. Wait, hold up. Yeah, that might be it. Hold up, chat. Hold up. Japan Best Buy. Is it Dave's? No, I don't know what it's called. But walked by the video game section, and there was a little adorable like baby girl playing Astrobot, and just like smiling and laughing. And I was like, God damn. And I wanted to take a photo. I was like, nah, that looks weird. Don't take a photo of a little girl playing a video game. But it was just like, it just made me smile. I'm like, man, you want this little fucking robot guy to be in every household possible.
Yep.
And I agree with Tim, you know, not the coolest looking villains, but, you know, we can work on that.
We got a chance to work?
After playing
the green light.
After playing Bonanza, I'm like, God, these villains look awesome.
Yeah.
I never beat. Did you beat Bonanza?
No.
Yeah, I haven't gotten back to it.
Can we talk about demo kiosks for just a quick moment?
Please do.
Remember back in the 90s and early 2000s, the controller would be at your chest level, but then the TV would be so cranked up that your neck would have to look up to the sky.
So high up there.
What a great video time. What a time.
And it was like a 10-inch screen. Yeah.
Be playing NFL Fever.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was definitely Blitz. Blitz was definitely up there. No, it wasn't Don Quixote, Chad. It was I don't know why I think it was Dave's. That doesn't make sense though.
How do you get better supervision? How do you get better oversight on these games? It's also a big question there. That's a great conversation of like, who is the one? The Matt Booties of the world, right? Their role is to facilitate all this and kind of be the middleman between Phil and the studios for help, but also kind of be the guy on the ground saying, I'm looking at X, Y, and Z. I'm liking how this is tracking. Hey, Andy, I don't like how this team is tracking right here. We need to do something, right? Like, how do you better that oversight?
I think it has less to do with, and here's me speaking from a completely uneducated standpoint, where when I did the tiny time of game development I was just like, all right, make this art asset. So like, I think it comes down to not letting it even get to that point of being greenlit. Like, that's where we're at.
So to have a better conversation of, hey, here's the pitch, and me being able to have the fortitude to say, that pitch isn't what we're looking for right now, or this isn't going to hit. I'm sorry, go back to the drawing board.
Or are you able to do what you want to do multiplayer-wise with a 15-person budget, right? Like, because it all comes down to greenlighting these things that require a shitload of money. If you want to greenlight an experiment, like Herman Holtz mentioned, we want to fail early and fail cheaply, right? Like, you need to catch it before it hits stage 4. You know what I mean? You want, like, you need to identify this shit before you blink and suddenly it's 5 years into development and you have $200+ million into it and you go, oh, fuck. We really should have gotten a hold of this before the team tripled last year and before our budgets even got this high. We should have really looked at how can we execute this idea unfortunately, in the cheapest way possible, the most budget-friendly way possible.
What are some of the ways that people can do that, right? Is it getting outside gamers to come in and test it? Is it having people like Janet Garcia do mock reviews? Or is it just simply saying, because it's so tough, right? These games are 5 years in the making, 7 years in the making to see if they're going to land or not. How do you make that call so early and say, oh, I like this, but this is not it?
I think the biggest problem with it is that so many of these games are fun as it is.
Yes.
I think it's rare for a lot of these multiplayer games to come out and be a complete dud on the experience side. We've played so many of these games that have come and gone that in any other era, in any other year, 10 years ago, if they came out, they'd be massive hits. There's not a whole lot of ways that you can predict what is going to penetrate the market right now.
Yeah.
And so many of these games are fun and good when you're playing them. And I'm sure the testers are having a lot of fun. And when the game comes out, when Wildgate comes out and we play, we're like, wow, what a fun and cool idea. Haven't gone back to that in a while. I don't know if that game's still succeeding or not or doing decent numbers, but that's kind of a perfect example of, a fresh idea that's actually fun and awesome. Not that the last couple of games that came out weren't super fresh, but they were still fun and awesome.
Yeah.
Just not enough to kind of keep us there for the long haul. And that's a lot of these games. A lot of these games just require the player base, and they require the influx of cash every couple of quarters or whatever with new DLCs and things like that. And it's really, really hard to notice, because if we were to go back in time 8 years ago and I showed you all of these canceled games and said which ones are going to fail, and then at the end of it you played them all, you're like, wow, these were all fun. Which one? And you go, hey, just kidding, this is a prank. All of them failed, actually. Like, whoa, holy shit. So many of these were fun and awesome. And that it's a weird market right now. We're in a weird place in time where people's time is so divided. You're even seeing reports of the NBA and the NFL and Major League Baseball trying to compete with TikTok, and movie studios and TV shows trying to compete with people scrolling on their phones. People's time is so divided into multiple ways now that it's really, really hard to get them all in one place and out of their devices scrolling, because sometimes you'd rather just scroll in bed horizontally than hop on that multiplayer game with your friend. Story number 2. Sony finally makes the PlayStation refund process easier. This comes from Makar at Eurogamer. Sony has pushed an update live to the PlayStation Store that makes refunds considerably easier. The new process, which can only be done on the PlayStation website or app, goes as follows. Navigate to the PlayStation Store and select the 3 dots in the top right corner to access your transaction history. Those damn 3 dots, man. Anytime you try to look for a demo,
3 dots.
You got to hit
Is this
three
the
dots.
PS4 or
Oh,
is it the
man.
PS5 version? Can I just get the right version,
The
please?
damn 3 dots. All right, sorry for interrupting the process because y'all were probably taking step-by-step notes. You hit the 3 dots in the top right corner to go to access your transaction history. From there, you should be able to select your past purchases and request refunds. Previously, PlayStation users would have to use an online assistant, basically a chatbot, to negotiate a refund. The requirements for a refund remain the same. Only a product bought within the last 14 days is valid, and you can't have begun the process of downloading or playing it. That is, unless what you bought is faulty, in which case these requirements may be circumvented. It's a nice little update that should come. That should make those 2 a.m. reflex purchases of Detroit Become Human feel a little less rancid the next day.
Ooh.
Detroit Become Human taking a stray right there from Connor Makar.
Big stray right there.
I was watching a TikTok of Pokimane being like doing a giveaway of all these consoles.
Okay, yeah, I saw her doing a fun one. She wanted to do
And
giveaways.
she's going through the past of like, you know, Game Boy, you had my back when I was a kid, and going through like her history of gaming.
Cool.
And she was like, PlayStation 4, you mean the world to me. I wouldn't have played my favorite story game ever, Detroit Become Human. And I was like, oh, Pokemon. There's a lot of good games out there. we gotta expand your horizons.
Let's help her out.
We gotta expand your horizons.
Give her some one.
But I mean, this is great news for people who may have had those issues, not necessarily having to, what Connor says here, negotiate a refund with a chatbot. That sounds like a nightmare.
I have to go to Roger for those. Roger does all my negotiations on DoorDash when I need a refund.
Oh God, are you paying him?
negotiates. No, but like he's there to help. You know what I mean?
Why does he do this for you?
He loves me, unlike someone.
He has a higher tolerance for you,
I know,
you know?
that's what he is,
Like, I love that you know, like, all right, Andy's tired of me already.
Yeah, I know this stuff.
I know to him, I've hit my limit.
Give him a week. I'll be back. Let him recharge. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have a good refund policy, right? You
Yeah.
and I have played plenty of stinker games and wish that we could stop that right away, or games that just came out and were super bad, right? Someone came into my chat last night and was like, I'm so mad at PlayStation for letting this game, or PC Ubisoft letting some Assassin's Creed game get ported and it was really poor. And it's like, hey, homie, hit that refund button. Get your money back. Come back when it gets patched and fixed, you know? So always looking for a good one.
Yeah, that's great news right there that at least things are being made a little bit easier. But again, those damn 3 dots. Those 3 fucking dots.
You gotta use the 3 dots.
When I'm out there looking for a demo
Come on.
and I search the game, the demo should be the first damn thing I see.
The demo should be its own tile. You should see that in the search.
I had to go into the game and then go to the 3 dots and then the demo. Like, why are you hiding this? It makes 0 sense. Story number 3. Skate's early access date has been finally confirmed from SCullion at VGC. EA and developer Full Circle have finally announced the early access date for Skate, the 4th game in the Skate series, and the first new release in 15 years will enter early access on September 16th. Quote, we are so hyped to announce that Skate will release in early access September 16th, 2025, end quote. The game's official X account said. They also ended the tweet with, see you in San Vansterdam. Mike, does this do anything for you at all? Just lay it all out. Because you've been waiting for this.
Let's be real, Andy. This is the most anticipated release of the year because it has so much riding on it. Skate is a beloved franchise. It is one of my favorite games, one of my favorite titles to play. Moment-to-moment gameplay and action is superb in this game. But on the flip side, why this is one of the most anticipated games of the year is also because the failure risk is through the roof right now with EA and this team Full Circle, because Skate now is a early access games as a service game. When really, I think just the player base wanted Skate 4. We wanted the true full experience at launch ready to go. But of course, in 2025, the world is a lot different than it was 15 years ago when the last Skate released, right? And so they've changed with the market, they've changed with the time, and they're trying to release a game that is ever evolving, ever present, and you and your friends can have new and fun things to do all the times, every day, every week, every month, right? That's the selling point of all this. Will that work? Will that land, Andy, We will find out on September 16th because this is a massive moment, right? This is one of those games where I'm going to hop in and I'm going to tell you how great it is. And then I'm going to be like, Andy, there's not enough content. You come back later on and you're going to forget about this 6 months to a year from now. And EA is going to be like, oh shit, we're at 1.0. We're dropping the biggest patch ever. We want you to come back. And those player numbers will never be the same.
There will be a big update in the future.
This happens every time.
And it just doesn't quite hit the way you would want it to. Yeah, man, this is not only, I think, obviously big for Full Circle and for EA, but I think this is a big kind of, not a make or break, but this is going to be a big moment for AAA sports games. For AAA extreme sports games in this way.
Okay.
Yeah, like the skateboarding games, the snowboarding games, like this trying to be this live service model that does not sound like what the fans initially even wanted. It's a big swing, and it's a very risky swing. And I really hope this game comes out and kicks a lot of ass, and the fans get everything that they want out of it. But, you know, it's really easy to be worried.
It's easy to be worried, and you bring up, like, other extreme sports games, and it's wild, Andy, that you and I, who grew up with EA big titles, right? Those have come and gone like the dodo. No one is making SSX tricky anymore. We haven't had a skate game release in 15 years. We don't get the high-class arcadey sports games like we used to. It is now just the franchise sports games that you know and love, and then indie teams have really brought back to life the fun extreme sports like Shredders that I loved, like Descenders Next. Those are being carried by these indie teams who know, hey, we got a super small budget. We can't release a super mega product, but we're going to give this to you for $15 and hope you ride with us and believe in us and maybe support us down the way where we can get bigger. EA is the only team that has a title like this in their catalog that they can release, and they've chosen a games as a service early access, which is a wild choice here. It's so 2025, but like this will be the one where it's like, you've poured all this into this studio, into this team. If this doesn't hit within that first year, this will be another one of like massive layoffs at EA, Full Circle down under, right? It's like, that's not going to be good.
What do you think the game loop is in this video game? What is the game loop of Skate? I'm so unfamiliar with Skate as a product. I obviously have played a shitload of Tony Hawk games a long time ago, granted, but like everything I've sort of seen so far just looks like you and your friends kind of free roaming. Is there a mission structure? What is this game like?
Yeah, so back in the day, Skate was in this fully realized, beautifully detailed world where you would be able to run around this open world and take on different challenges and missions throughout your journey. And you could do branching paths. You could go wherever you wanted, which is a giant open world. And you'd roll up, it'd be Robin Big. And they'd be like, yo, what up, bro? We got this camera.
They got Robin Big in there?
They did.
Oh, so they're doing the celebrity stuff as well.
Well, back in the day, they did. I don't know where they will be in this. And so they would be like, yo, man, hit this rail. We want you to do 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 point combos. We'll give you a gold or bronze medal. And those medals would go into your level up, go into your skate popularity. So you could go back to the skateboard house, make new decks, sell them to fans and all that jazz, right? So like really the circle of the game is you adventuring across this giant map, going to different cool skate spots and doing fun, different skate events, different skate tricks, whatever that challenge may be. And so at the core of it, it's easy to replicate that in a live service game because that's what they're going to do. They're going to give you a giant open world. They're going to have mini challenges that they'll be able to update every month, every week, every year with new things to do on the map. But the goal now is to say, hey, this map is always online. You and your friends can play. I'm sure there will be a single player, turn it off. I don't want to see anybody. But they want you to be able to skate with like 15 friends all around town. And especially in this one, they want you to be able to create in this world. So back in the day, you could create small things and you could create fun things. I think they really want you to create in this one where it's like, yo, me and Andy, we found this cool spot. Uh-oh, my buddy Greg just showed up and he put a mega ramp here. Oh, snap. Khalif Adams just showed up and he just put 7 rails together to make the ultimate down rail. Let's just sesh together. And so on paper, it sounds fun. The issue is the diehard skate fans want a fun open world that they can go adventure around, want these challenges that they can do. The issue that we see with early access titles is there will be 7 missions to do when you want 37 on a full product, right? And so you're hoping on September 16th that this team has had plenty of time to dial in all of that stuff to do, and you should have a fun time. I'm hoping for the best.
The create aspect reminds me a lot of the old school GTA race maps. Reminds me of what we've seen a lot recently with Fortnite and Roblox, sort of, you know, the audience and the player base really kind of getting creative and making their own maps that could eventually become really, really popular. When you're looking at, I'm assuming it would be a list of, you know, you would kind of populate a list of maps, Mike. You would, like, similar to Fortnite, of playlists and servers, and go, oh, I want to go hop into this server where that map is with that ramp server. I'm struggling a lot right now.
That's all right. I'm here for you.
Saw a little ice. I got a little ice in my
You want me
throat.
to tap you on the back?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. But the in the old skate games, were you refreshing like a list of servers to go hop into?
No, it was you and your friends.
Okay, so you were
now
never.
The interesting part is, like, you're thinking more like Halo Forge, you're thinking
Yes.
Battlefield Portal, where it's like these custom servers.
Right.
I don't anticipate that from the skate experience. Now, I haven't played any of the early access stuff, so I don't know what they're doing, but I don't think it is, hey, I've created Danny Way's Hawaiian Dream, part Snowbike Mike, and now it's just living and breathing. No, this is more like in the moment we're hanging out and I'm creating and you can come in there. Or maybe I've built this in my world, you can come back and do it. I don't think it's just servers where I download your world and I'm ready to go all the time.
Okay.
And so we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I think another big one is like, is this free to play? I'm not quite sure. If it is free to play, right, the goal for EA is to get a bunch of new people into skate, right? It's been 15 years. Maybe you've never played a skate. Maybe you're like, I'm not really an extreme sports athlete anymore, right? Hoping that this Games as a Service early access title will get you and your friends in so you'll come in and play. And then, of course, the business model is, hey, if you had a good time, maybe you toss us $5. Maybe you toss us $20 for the coolest gear so you and your friends can look dope as you hit sick rails and grinds.
Well, you only have about a month to do what you want in skate before their other big game, Battlefield, comes out. So you gotta, like, you know, maybe in skate we'd redirect all the players to Battlefield or something like that.
They'll have a Battlefield outfit.
Yeah,
you could dress up as a military guy.
Definitely.
I mean, the positive for EA, right, is you hear that this could be a strong end of the year for EA if skate is the hit, and then move into Battlefield 6, which we already know is kind of a big, massive hit already. We haven't had a price tag on that yet. We've had 2 free-to-play weekends. Let's get to the price tag moment and the launch first. But this is like an end of a year for EA that probably hasn't happened in a while, right? They've been riding their sports games for quite some time. We don't have a new BioShock out, right? It's like this is a nice, strong end to an EA year if these two were to hit.
Speaking of massive hits, Mike, I'd like to tell you about a word from our sponsors right now, Xreal.
This episode is brought to you by Xreal. As of August 25th, Xreal One Pro is finally available on Amazon and BestBuy.com. Plus, it's back in stock now on Xreal.com. A few months ago, my life changed forever when I brought a pair of Xreal One Pro AR glasses on a incredibly long flight to New York City. I legit could not believe how easy it was to use and how high quality my experience was playing games with my Steam Deck and watching movies with my phone on the plane on a theater-sized OLED screen right in front of my eyes without too much extra stuff or a giant goofy headset involved. No joke, this is my favorite new piece of tech in years, and it has earned a permanent spot in my travel bag. It's only hard to believe it works as well as I'm saying until you try Xreal AR glasses for yourself, and then you will see that the tech is here. Connect Xreal One Pro glasses to whatever you're playing, like a handheld console, PC, phone, or home console, and get a massive 150-inch virtual screen anywhere, anytime for any game. Gaming on the go, like a long flight, you need Xreal One. Neck starting to hurt from staring down at your handheld? You need Xreal One. It's plug and play with all your devices via USB-C, built-in audio with sound by Bose, anchoring your screen literally anywhere in space, 1080p Full HD, and you can make it bigger, smaller, farther, closer, ultra-wide, or regular widescreen, horizontal, vertical, even 3D if you have a 3D movie. It's all built in and can be controlled by pressing a few buttons on the glasses. These are what make Xreal One Pro a must-have. Xreal 1 Pro is now available on Amazon and BestBuy.com, and from August 25th through September 1st, you can get $50 off if you bundled Xreal 1 Pro with the Xreal Beam Pro AR mobile device on Amazon or Xreal.com. There is nothing better than when a sponsor of Kinda Funny is something we are legitimately obsessed with. So get yours today at kindafunny.com/Xreal. That's kindafunny.com/Xreal.
Story number 4. Excuse me, Mike.
Get it out. Take a moment.
Nintendo is reportedly telling would-be Switch 2 devs to release on Switch instead. This comes from SCullion at VGC. Developers are still struggling to get hold of Nintendo Switch 2 development kits after the console's launch, according to new reports. In the latest edition of Digital Foundry's DF Direct Weekly podcast, host John Lindemann and Oliver McKenzie reported that they had been told by numerous developers that they were still unable to get a hold of a development kit to make Switch 2 games. According to Lindemann, some developers were instead being told to make games for the original Switch for now, instead of specifically working on Switch 2 only titles. Quote, "There's been a lot of talk about this lately, that Nintendo seems to be almost discouraging Switch 2 development to some degree," he said. "I've spoken with plenty of developers where they were told that their game should just ship on Switch 1 and rely on backwards compatibility. There's a lot of developers that are unable to get Switch 2 dev kits. We've talked to a lot of devs at Gamescom this year, and so many of them said the same things. They want to ship on Switch 2. They would love to do Switch 2 versions. They can't get the hardware. It's really difficult right now." End quote. Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, that's
Not a good.
That's a yikes, right?
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I wonder what, is it just, this is something that we'll probably not get a whole lot of info of because Nintendo is so
Of course.
it's so hard to kind of get into that fortress, but this is not a great situation.
Pre-release, we didn't want to send out dev kits because we didn't want you spoiling it. Is it, hey, we made so many consumer units that we haven't been big on the dev side because they... I thought they nailed the launch, right? Everybody that I talked to got a Switch 2 so far. So maybe they just put it all towards consumers and we haven't been pushing the dev side of things yet. Like, what is that answer there on why developers aren't getting this to create games for your ecosystem and platform there?
That's quite the bummer because we have a first-time chatter from Miss Bliss Presents who says, "New here, is this live?" It is live. Welcome in.
That's Andy. I'm Mike.
Welcome in, new chatters. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. This is a not a great situation because a lot of devs are looking at this going, well, yeah, we know we can make a Switch 1 version, but it fucking sucks. And it's not, and obviously that's a lot of extra work to even get it to run on the Switch 1 with optimization time. We want the Switch 2 version because it's a more powerful platform, and to go from our game that runs on a current PC and it looks really, really nice, it would take a bit less to go back to Switch 2 specs than to go all the way back to Switch 1 specs. You got to just hope that these dev kits start to get going because I really want to see the third parties really kind of pop off, and I want to see indies really start to pop off where, again, a lot of these games just look like dookie and don't run great on the Switch 1, but really, really hope that Switch 2 dev kits could improve a lot of that and not require people to go, dude, we're only a team of 4 people. We're still working on this game. We don't really have time to try to optimize for hardware that old,
Well said, Andy. I mean, that's the big one, right? We know the Switch will be great with Nintendo games. We're looking for third-party games to be able to step in and really shine on this. Is this going to be the Switch 2 where it's just Switch 1 where all the Nintendo games are great and everything else is booty? Like, what are we doing here for this generation?
Because I'm still waiting for when is Marvel Rivals coming to Switch 2? When is well, we already heard, not so great reports about Elden Ring not running great on Switch 2, which, shocker from software. I love y'all, but Christ, please, let's get let's get some tech heads out there. let's get Nvidia a bit more involved or AMD more involved.
Get somebody to help you.
Shit, man, it's really, really tough to make From Software games run perfectly smooth, and not running great on a Switch 2 is not awesome news, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just disheartening, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Nintendo games on this. That's about it.
Story number 5. Baby Steps has been delayed because of Silksong. This comes from a press release. Nate, the wary, onesie-donned fail son, at the heart of the eccentric adventure in literal walking simulator Baby Steps, has stumbled after attempting to ascend his greatest challenge yet, launching the week after Hollow Knight Silksong's surprise release date. Footage of Nate's fail is viewable in this new trailer, which confirms the adventure's new launch date. Baby Steps will now release on September 23rd for PC and PlayStation 5. The dominoes have started to... This is great.
Get out the way.
This is awesome. Yeah. That's a great... For audio listeners, the dude, funky-looking dude, Nate from Baby Steps, was trying to walk on a big Hornet statue, Hornet, the character from Silksong, and is really, really struggling and stumbling. So they moved the release date. We knew this would start to happen. We knew that this was the indie version of GTA 6 and which sort of titles would try to move out of the way. And, you know, we've already sort of seen some titles go, all right, you know, we'll go to a different date. We're happy with that.
I think they're up to 5 or 6 now that they got to move.
Baby Steps.
4 that me and Blessing read. I think there was 1 more as well. But yeah, this is, you said it so well. This is the GTA 6 of indie games. And it's really, this is the big title of September, especially to start off the month. So yeah, get out of the way right now.
Unfortunately,
Demon School was the other one.
Demon
School.
School.
That makes 5, and then Baby Steps is 6.
Unfortunately, everybody's golf hotshots just caught in the crossfire.
They said, no, we're good.
They're still there. They're still there. No, you'll play some golf games when you're done with your Metroidvania. Another game that was always releasing around this date, and I'm glad that it's kind of, you know, separated enough, not far enough, in my opinion, but it's a game called Constance.
Put us on to something.
And Constance is a Hollow Knight-like.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's a 2D platformer. Gorgeous art style. No. Well, you know, a lot of these art styles just sort of, once Hollow Knight came up with his art style, a lot of games sort of followed suit. Reminds you of the Limbo art style, like, to a degree.
I like that.
Sharp contrasts, but Constance is a game that is releasing September 23rd. This is one I've been, wait, no. November 24th. Why does it say that? I thought it was September 23rd. Hold on. Let me get to the bottom of this. I could have sworn on Twitter they said that they were releasing on September. Let me look into this. Do some research.
He's doing some research for you.
But the game is gorgeous. It's a 2D platformer. It kind of has some Splatoon-like mechanics where you're a little girl and her hair is made of paint, and you sort of turn into the paint, and you use the paint to kind of traverse and go around the world. But the demo's been up on Steam for quite... Okay, never mind. It is November 24th. I could have sworn it was a couple of weeks after. My bad. My B. But this game looks fantastic. Keep this one, you know, in the back of your mind, because the game rocks. And again, there's a demo up right now. It's a lot of fun. And it's another one that before we even really knew that Silksong was actually going to come out this year, until we got the full confirmation, it was always like, all right, well, this one's still coming out. And I can't wait for this one, because the demo does kick a lot of ass.
Yeah.
So,
like a 92 overall.
Is that what you need?
I need one more.
You need a 90 though? That's a lot.
It's like I need 87 minimum.
Fuck.
90 to win.
That's so hard.
90 to lock in and win.
Who's in Who are you trying to beat?
Barrett.
Damn.
I'm talking about our fantasy critic draft. If you don't know, like, I'm right there. I'm knocking on the door, and like, we're all battling against Barrett, because we know that Barrett takes this for real and is looking to win, and I'm looking to stop that.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Maybe some reviews for Hyperlight Breaker start to come out, Mike, because they just released a massive update.
You played it,
and it rocks. It's awesome.
Nice.
Progression is great. I played more last night.
I noticed it was a multiplayer game, and I didn't receive an invite.
You don't like PvE games.
If I play with you,
after an hour, you get bored, and then you start to try to entertain yourself, and it just annoys me.
I need the challenge.
I mean, challenge yourself and go to therapy, okay? Jesus Christ. Yeah, so you need an 87. That's not easy, Mike. That's like, you're asking for a lot right there.
I need something perfect to end the year. There's a game out there, Andy, and the audience out here, that you can recommend me. There's a game out there that will land between now and December 25th that will be an 87 or above. I need that. Find it.
Who had Shinobi?
Barrett, because I couldn't spell it.
You really couldn't spell it. Damn, you could have. That was a lot of points, right?
I typed in a lot of different ways too. I just couldn't find it.
You should have just asked me how to spell it. Yeah, you were typing Y, I remember.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it on the low
I saw
key.
SHY and I laughed and I made fun of you. You got really uptight about it. You weren't happy about me making fun of you. Looks like YouTube died. Sorry, YouTube.
Oh.
Twitch, you're still here. And speaking of being here,
Yeah, thank you for
speaking
being
of you need a real big score, Mike.
big score.
But and speaking of big stuff, I'm looking for little stuff. Where would I go?
Andy, I take you to our last story, the We News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Sorry, YouTube. YouTube died. I don't know why. I don't know why YouTube died. We News. Acclaim Showcase announced, premiering September 10th.
So my boy Double J's been promoting this.
Double J Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett.
Luminous Arise launches November 11th on PS5 and PC. Demo live now on PlayStation 5 and Steam. This is one that, who got this one?
Never heard of it.
You should get this one if nobody has it. Oh, maybe Greg got this one.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think Greg got this one. When I looked at like Tim getting a game, I'm like, Tim, just you're out of this. Don't steal games from the
Tim
people.
took Silent Hill from me, and I
Fucking
would have taken
Tim.
Silent Hill. He took Mafia Old Country. That got him a 4. That's what you get.
It's a tough year.
That's what you get.
That's a tough year for Tim right there. Kirby and the Forgotten Land OST is now available on Nintendo Music. Thank you. I don't know why I'm thanking them, but I love the Nintendo Music app. There's a required reading post that we're telling you. You're being required to read this. IGN Union is fighting against employees being overworked. There's an Instagram post you could check out. But the gist of it from a tweet says, Ziff Davis and IGN routinely decide that work done by our laid-off colleagues is not important, but inevitably, that crucial work falls onto those who remain. Not this time, not anymore. They laid out a graphic breaking down the situation, what they're asking for, and what their actions are going to be. Required reading. Go to the Instagram post. Important stuff. Fight for your rights to vote. We just heard a little Windows sound.
We're getting back on the YouTube. Go check this post out, though. Read about it.
Yeah. YouTube is coming back. Sorry, guys.
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's gone.
It's the multi-stream thing we're doing. It's like it's not
Really?
perfect, and we're trying to
You'll be multi-streaming every night. It's perfect.
Yeah, but I don't send a feed somewhere like we do. Like we're using the.
It's weird. The YouTube one is the one that's going down. The one that's our main feed.
Do you need us to stream from me and Barrett's apartment? We can do it.
No, I don't think so.
I have my little PC there.
You
can
got
just
great
sit,
internet.
You just sit behind me. Oh, Kevin, I bought a mesh thing.
Oh yeah, finally.
Yeah, it's not great.
Well, okay. How do you have it hooked up? Ooh, it's an exciting conversation we should have afterwards.
Yeah. Plugged it into the wall. Plugged the router into
You
it.
should let him come over, set up the mesh network. Me and Nick come over. We're looking to HGTV. Upgrade that stream room.
I don't want you anywhere.
Because I see you. I know you got a shelf now. I like this shelf in the background.
Andy, let me get in that roof.
let
you know?
let us get in there.
Many Face Steph says a lot of horsehair in the walls. It's a big revelation.
So it slows everything down.
We need a SUI awards. Mike, we need our own SUIs.
I agree.
It's just so hard to keep track of.
I know.
But for chat who doesn't know, I'm a big fan of the Dan Le Batard show. Every year they do the SUI awards. Whenever something happens, they mark it down, they clip it out, they put it in an archive somewhere because every year they have award categories like biggest revelation, where somebody learned something, and we would have put the horsehair in biggest revelation. Or they'll have biggest mistake, and it's just somebody saying wrong shit.
Yep.
Mike would probably dominate the
Or
category.
Mike's death rattle.
Insane
sound of
best
the year.
wheeze laugh, or whatever. We got to do that. Let's get to some super chats, and you are wrong. Thank you for bringing up this article about the horsehair being in the walls, Kevin.
I'm telling you, man, there's something to it.
Is that a San Francisco thing?
I guess so.
Really?
Yeah.
Goddamn horsehair. It's like,
Sturdy.
when all the freaks like Dr. Disrespect and all them were all worried about like the 5G signals and getting the rocks and the pebbles, they should have just covered some horsehair.
Little they didn't know.
Because 5G
Horsehair.
would not get through that shit. That was the true solution to it all. All right, I'm trying to get to the super chats. Here we go. Shungite, that's what it was, Monaco. Oh my god. Bunch of weirdos. Let's see. Golden Spider with a $5 super chat says, Microsoft and Xbox seem to be down in some ways. Just try to resub the Game Pass and kept getting, you're not authorized to view this page. That's solid. That's good stuff.
Okay.
That's
Don't
always
take
great.
my money then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Raymond K. Hessel, $5 super chat. Thank you for your support, Raymond. Says, speaking of divided time, Andrew and Michael. My name's Andres, but thank you. Says, I only have time for another game come September 4th. What should it be? Silksong or Hell Is Us? What do you care about more? Do you care about Hollow Knight at all? If you do, then obviously Silksong. If you never played a Hollow Knight game in your life, play Hell Is Us and then play Hollow Knight in the background.
Good call.
I'll buy the OG Hollow Knight for you. It's like $5, I think.
That's really nice of him to do that.
Another super chat from Golden Spider, $10 super chat says, apparently Deadlock has been releasing 4 new heroes in the last week and a half. Yes, they have been. And says, with 2 more still to come, official reveal and 1.0 date coming soon. They've been on a tear.
I went back and played. Did you play yet?
Why didn't you fucking invite me?
It was like 11 o'clock at night. You were already sleeping by then.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. Well, let's get a party going together, okay? We've been separated for too long. Name the last game we played together.
Yesterday. It was...
Well, no, work
Rainbow
doesn't
Six
count.
Siege.
Work doesn't count. Work doesn't count. You're forced to be with me here.
If you want to be paid, you have to be with me here. You have to be in the same building as me. Chad, what was the last game me and Mike played together?
What was the last time we played?
After work hours.
I mean, Dune was a long time ago. Dune was a month and a half ago.
Wildgate, probably, yeah. Yeah, may have been Wildgate.
Wildgate.
Another super chat says, someone check on Joey. Taylor Swift is engaged. $2 super chat.
Oh, my God.
Travis
For real?
did it. He did it. Wow. That's big.
That's fucking massive.
Congrats.
That's insane. Really?
I thought they would have announced it on the podcast. That's crazy.
Too much. Yeah, that's fun, bro. Where do you think they got engaged? All that money, that fame.
I think Travis Kelce took Taylor Swift to a Sizzler. you know,
here's the one Vista in Kansas
yeah.
City, babe.
Yeah. I think afterwards he took her to the mall and get whatever you want at Bed Bath & Beyond, you know.
What a beautiful life.
Cozy Bear with his $5 super chat says, get ready because I have a cool new segment prepped for today's happy hour podcast that Andy Cortez in particular will appreciate. Look forward to it. Thank you, Cozy Bear.
Holy shit.
Violet's Archive with a $5 super chat says, my name change got approved. I'm officially Violet. Thanks for being there when things look bleak. Love you, Andy and Mike. Hell yeah, Violet.
It's beautiful.
Proud of you. We love you.
Love that.
GG's. And that seems to be it for the super chats. We'll go into You're Wrong right here, where you can write into kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. So let us know what we got wrong. But if it's just you adding on to a fact, then maybe I'll read it if it's interesting enough.
Yapping.
We have Clawmaster who says, to add to the difference between Tony Hawk and Skate Series, in the Skate Series, you don't use a face button to use your tricks. You use the right thumbstick to do so.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. The
Oh
Skate
my
Series always
God.
felt like a more realistic version of skating.
It's the best, Andy. You cock back that thumbstick and then you flick
That's
it
nice.
up and you can do a little ollie, you can do a kick flip, you can do a 360 flip, you can do all these different moves, right? And nothing better than getting up on that fucking up ollie, and then you're looking at the down rail and you can move the stick how you want the board
To land?
anticipate the landing.
Ooh.
And so you can do a little 50-50 board slide. You can just do a normal rail, or you try to lock in that nose blunt.
Fuck, man.
Ain't nothing better than locking in the nose blunt.
I wish all golf games kind of came to an agreement to either go forward with never using the 3-click method or only the stick.
Okay, what do you
Because
want?
I don't like that there are options, because I feel like more often than not, we will always revert back to the 3-click method.
Really?
But I think that I just think based on,
I'm a stick man from this
Me
point
too.
forward.
No,
Yeah,
me too.
yeah.
But Greg's not.
He's cheating then.
And I feel like I wish we all just got on the same page, because it does feel like we are playing a fundamentally different game. And I think that there's more variety and dynamic ways to fuck up with the stick.
Of course.
I
Or
like the
ways
stick
to bend
more.
the ball a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
You might be able to hook it, and then once you slice it in your favor as well. Tell them no more 3 dots.
No more 3-dot.
No more 3 dots.
I do love the 3-click method, though. Don't get me wrong, but the stick method is a lot more challenging, and I like the idea of like, you know, you fucked up not because you timed it wrong, but because you did your stick wrong. You're like, oh, what the, you know, maybe you coughed during your swing or something. Just like real golf.
Somebody wrote it in. I want Shadow Trickster wrote. I want all golf games now, Andy, even on Xbox and PlayStation, full motion controls.
Me too. Me freaking
I want them
too.
to figure out how I can hold that controller like a golf club. I want every game motion control.
I would kill for that. Nolan Massey says, Mike, Battlefield is $69.99 on Steam for the base edition.
There it is.
Base edition.
We will see how many of you jabronis show up for a full price title of Battlefield.
Gary the Third says PlayStation refunds aren't as good as Steam and Xbox. If you initiate and install the game, you're not able to get an automatic refund. No 2-hour play time limit like Steam. That is true. That is true. Let's see here. Mike and Andy, have you ever played Tales of Xillia? Highly recommend it. Never heard of it. Too many games though, man. Jeppo,
No.
I'm sorry. Too many games, Jeppo.
But your boy Snowbike Mike did draft
Tales of Xillia?
Trails in the Sky first chapter.
Oh,
And
right.
there's a demo out. People are going crazy.
When does it come out?
Soon. This year. And I'll be playing it. I'm going to play the demo. That's as much as I'll give you.
It's a lot of commitment right there. This has been Kind of Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday. We run you through the nerd news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with a Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy the GAMESCAST next and the stream after. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.